Welcome to my throne. This is where I make my proclamations to the woodland animals who are under my control. I'm sorry, wrong video. What I've actually come out to do today is, because the weather's been so bad, I'm going to bore you to death with what is in my camera bag. So the camera bag itself is a Shimoda Explore 40 litre. That sounds quite a lot, but believe it or not, I can fill this up quite easily with everything I need for a day or night of astro or landscape photography. So let's dive in and see what's in here. So let's start with the side pocket. In here I carry a really cheap and nasty tripod that I use for my B-roll and 4K time lapses and stuff like that. It's pretty awful and floppy, but it gets the job done. I also always carry a water bottle. That always guzzles water at an astonishing rate, and that just fits in there nicely. The other thing that lives in there is a heavy duty bin bag that I use for kneeling on the ground, keep my knees dry, because I always like to do low down shots, photography from as close to the ground as I can get. Let's dive into the top pocket of the bag. The first thing that lives in here is a little pouch. Keep my cables in there, USB-C, so I can run my Nikon Z5 off of a power pack, cable for external hard drive, and a little card reader for my iPad. Then I have this little pouch. In here is an external SSD drive, 1 terabyte, and I always carry this little RAV Power. It's a wireless router hub, and you need this if you're using an iPad. Put an SD card in there and transfer wirelessly to the iPad. A little air blaster thing for cleaning off lenses, etc. Little Manfrotto, I think it's called a Pixie tripod. I use that for put a light on there, or I put my vlogging camera on there and babble away to that. I've got I think it's a lead lenser P6 torch. I use this a lot for obviously finding my way around in the dark and light painting. It's a really useful thing to have in the bag. Then in this waterproof bag I have, I think it's a 20,000 milliamp hour external power pack, which I use to run either the Z5 or keep the Z5 battery charged, or for running my lens warmer off. Electrical insulating tape and an elastic band, always useful for rigging things up, taping things up you don't want to move. It's surprising how much I use that. Wireless earphones, because there's a lot of hanging around in astrophotography, so keep myself amused. Nothing like chilling out under the stars with a bit of Slipknot or something like that. Lens cleaning pen, brush thing with a lens cleaning thing on that end, always handy to have in the bag. An Allen key, simple boring Allen key for adjusting tripod legs and L brackets and things like that. And that is it for what's in there. Right, so let's look at what is in the main compartment. First thing we have in here is a microfiber cloth. Use it for cleaning the camera off. 1001 uses, always have that in the bag. Next up in this little compartment I have my Sony FDR X3000. I use this for the majority of my vlogging and blabbering away to it. Just so reliable, you press a button and it goes. None of that faff that you get with a GoPro. Under that is my lens warmer that I use for when it's cold and misty and the lens keeps getting damp, and the little control unit that goes with it. Next pocket is my Nikon 20mm f1.8G. It's always attached to the F to Z adapter, and it either lives on my Z5 or my 40mm f2 lives on the Z5. Always in my bag. Next to that is my little Nikon Z50 with the 16-50 kit lens on it, with an L bracket mounted on there. This is the camera I use for my 4K time lapses, or I do use it for vlogging and talking to camera when I can be bothered and when I remember to. Excuse the sound of a plane going overhead, if you can hear that. Next little area I've got my Nissi Starsoft filter. Hardly ever use that, probably a bit of a waste of money. And then I have these Ryko mini wind deflectors, and also in there, you can't see it, but there's some gels for a light. This little pocket here, I've got this little Sakani panel LED light. It's really useful, had it for years, absolutely love this thing, gets used all the time. And if I can get it out, come on, God. A circular and variable ND filter, which I use on my 40mm f2. I don't use it very often, sometimes I use it during daylight shoots, but something that's always useful to have in the bag, but for me doesn't get a great deal of use. And down in this little pocket here I've got 3 of these Ulanzi, I think they're VL49 RGB lights. I have them set different colours, one will be blue, even that's the purple one. One's orangey yellow, and this will be the blue one. And I use them at a really low power just to light things up when I'm light painting at night. And obviously the only thing missing is my Nikon Z5 that lives in here, and it's got my 40mm f2 lens on, so I shall resort to my Nikon Z50 to show you that. The only other items not in my bag that I'm using at the moment are the Nikon Z5 with the 40mm f2 on it, and the Rode Video Micro, I think it's a Go, I can't remember, I bought it so long ago that I can't remember the name of it. And that's that. I almost forgot, in here is my iPad Pro that I use to do all of my editing on, whether that's photographs or video. The only other thing I use regularly that I can't live without is my 3-legged thing tripod. I don't carry it in the bag just because it's too heavy. This thing's had an absolute beating of a life, and it's probably worn out, ready to be replaced. It's solid aluminium, and it's absolutely perfect for beating off alien abductors and axe murderers when you're out astrophotographing. So there you go, that's everything in my bag. Yes, I do treat my kit like this because they're only tools and they're meant for using. There is one other item missing from my bag, and that's a little head torch. My one's broken. It's got to a point where you charge it up, it charges up in about a minute and then it goes flat in about a minute. So my next job is to actually go and buy a new head torch. Thank you, I hate saying thank you for watching. I hope it's not been too noisy in here. I can hear lots of construction noise. They are building a new reservoir or wildlife sanctuary over there, and all I've heard while I've been here is that beeping sound of machinery reversing. So hopefully I've not picked up too much of that in the video. Once again, thank you for watching, and hopefully the next video will be a bit more interesting than what's in my bag. Bye!